Education, Laurie Kilmartin.
Oh, except for that now more people have donated.
Wow.
So it's not. Hey, guess what? We're recording. We did the thing, Laurie, with you had a really good idea and we did something.
Yeah, we had a Zoom show, but we made it a fundraiser for there's a Google Doc. There's a bunch of Google Docs with GoFundMe's on them that are floating around. So many people have lost everything, right? And so Altadena, the Palisades is perhaps a little wealthier than Altadena. There's regular working folk in the Palisades as well.
No, there's
right?
apartment buildings. So yes, of course,
Yes.
there's normal people everywhere. Yes.
Well, I understand that. I'm just saying
I'm
the wealth
agreeing.
disparity.
Yes.
Yeah. So Altadena, and I didn't even know this about Altadena till it burned down, but apparently it's like this historic Black community where families came over to escape Jim Crow laws. And so there's generations of families, Black families that have homes there, and they were, all burnt, right? So
right.
anyway,
and that was, of course, because of redlining at the time, because they couldn't move closer to the city. They had to live in Altadena. When they built, which is why 100 years ago when people of color moved here, they had to live in Altadena, but then they built that community. And I didn't know that either. I just read that too. So.
Yeah. I know. We're experts, guys. We're on Wikipedia
Look what
earlier.
we just learned.
We're white ladies armed with new racial knowledge. Hold on, guys. We're about to get real obnoxious. So we picked 5 families. The Google Doc is arranged from like who's got the least percentage of the money they need to all the way funded, right? So the least is the top. And so I just picked 5 families at random. One of them was a 94-year-old grandmother who had lost her home she'd lived in for 70 years.
Right.
Everyone had lost their homes and lost everything. A musician who lost everything. So, and then we just did a show with a bunch of comics and we asked people to donate, and they donated. A lot of people donated directly to you, Jackie. You put up your PayPal.
Right.
And then some
Venmo
people
and
donated directly too, because I checked and looked at and
yes.
a lot of them got thousands of dollars.
Yes.
That's before we add this at least $6,000 that you got from people.
Right.
So that's really cool.
We're at a little over $6,000 that what people gave today, and it's awesome. So, and yes, Darla said that my sister said she went there to give a little bit of money to everybody as well, and she said that almost everybody gave a little bit of everything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Duplass, the actor from the morning show, I think he's a director too, from the Duplass brothers, but he was saying on Instagram that if you just give a little bit to a lot of people, I mean, obviously it's going to add up, but it lets people know all these strangers give a shit about you.
Yes.
If you have 20 people giving you $5, all right, it's $100. It's not a lot, but 20 people took the time out to log in and give you money.
Yes.
That's also a feeling you can't buy,
Right.
And so we had lots of people donated and gave, and that was really cool. And
how many people came?
We had 173 at the top.
At the top number,
Our top number. What was hilarious was the guy who
at the beginning
who looked at the lineup and went, "No, Maria, oh well," out loud into the mic so that
Unmuted.
all the other comedians could hear it. But I did not let up on him. I don't know who it was, but I brought it back. I called it back several times during the show.
I know
you can't do that and think you're going to get away with it if I hear it.
I told Maria. She was like, I don't actually think I can face doing a set right now, though she did say, I have 3, what did she texted me and she goes, yeah, I have 3 disaster stories that I'm sure, 3 joke stories about the disaster. Because her house is, I think still standing, but is very damaged.
Oh.
But it,
my friend Cheryl, her house is standing, but it has a lot of smoke damage. Like they're not gonna be able to move in for a long time because they're gonna have to get it fixed.
Yeah.
and maybe Maria's. I mean, can you imagine though, if you're the only house on the block that's still there? Say you don't have smoke damage. Do you want to move in to where everything else is like like on fire or just rubble?
Smoldering. Yeah.
Right.
It's yeah, the survivor's guilt alone, I think,
Yeah.
is and if people remember, this is 6 days ago because it's Monday night right now.
Yeah. Right.
This has happened in 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
So, but everybody had very dark, very funny, all the LA comics did anyway.
Yeah.
Jokes about the fire. Did you see Pete on Fallon?
I did. I watched a little bit of it. Yeah. Pete Lee.
Of Janesville, Wisconsin, who is a Minneapolis comic and like a generation under me coming out of Acme. And he had just bought in the Palisades.
He bought that. I got the feeling
believe.
he rented. Oh,
yeah. And it was his so the house and the car. Kaboom.
Oh God.
And he didn't have to do Fallon. Because they were like, well, we could reschedule it. He's like, no, this is the only way I know how to process this.
Yeah, right. Seriously.
So
yeah.
he's a comic, right? So if there's a guy that's more a comic than Pete Lee, it's most of us. We're all comics.
Did he do a set or did he go right to the couch? Okay.
I believe he also did a set, though I did not see the set. But he was coming on to do a set, and then I think Fallon gave him the panel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm supposed to do after midnight on Wednesday here, the day this drops. I find out close to it if it's happening. So far, it's still on. I also have jury duty this week, so I've called in twice. I'm not due tomorrow. I don't know what's gonna. I don't know, but I do feel good about the show. It was a lot of work because I have to send out links. When you do a big show like that, you can't just put the link out because you're going to get spammers and you're going to get.
Yeah. What I wanted to ask you, did you manually have to approve 173 people every single time, or is it an automated thing? When they contact you, they get the link?
No, I have to email or put it on the Venmo. I have to send it out.
173 times?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Right. That's why, when I did it during lockdown, I had a spreadsheet, and then I would also, as soon as people registered, I would mark them off as registered. I did not do that for this. I assumed that they were coming or not coming. I had sent them the link. During lockdown, I was much more interested in them getting their $5 worth. Because that was the suggested donation to do it. And most people gave more. Some people gave as much as they could. Some people couldn't, because we also put it out to the Max Fun people who already donate.
Yeah.
And the Patreon people who already donate. And some people can't afford another $5. It's a hard row. And they, it was cathartic for all of us, I think. Aaron Foley, it was a hell of a lineup, man.
Yeah.
It was.
Skylar Higley was there. He's a Conan writer. He writes on After Midnight now. You're for The Onion. It's so funny. So funny.
And Brian Kiley. Judah Friedlander. There were some men, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
we had a couple of fellas.
Yeah.
And we invited Kyle. Kyle had to go to work. He could not come. But
Mary Lynn
Rice Cup,
Aaron Foley, Carmen Morales, you and
Amanda Cohen.
Amanda Cohen, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a strong show.
Yeah, it was everyone, and everyone had a great set. It was really great. And when that guy said, "No, Maria," oh well. And then you busted him so hard right away. I was like, "Oh, this is perfect." And
he hid anonymously inside all the 173 viewers.
Right. He did just fine. And then Carmen did an amazing job running the mute button.
Yeah.
You did an amazing job introducing people, and I was still letting people in at 45 minutes.
Wow.
That's why I was like, because the hardest ones are the PayPal, because the Venmo ones, I can just leave the links on, if they've made it private, I can just leave the links. But if it's PayPal, I have to go get their email address off the PayPal, and then I have to go back into the email, and then I have to send them.
Oh my
And I was like,
God.
oh my God, tie. But
Yeah.
if they're in Canada, they can't use Venmo, and we want their money. So worth every effort. Thank you for your generosity, and I had a really good time. I got to work on a couple of new bits.
Mhm.
We all show lasted almost 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted to say let's do it again, but I didn't realize that was so much work for you with every single registration. That's kind
It's
of
worthwhile, as
obscene.
if we divide and conquer, and you did. You made the lineup. You
That
did the
was
banter.
way easier.
No, I know, but it's like, but I didn't have to. And then Carmen
Yeah.
did the Zoom
Yeah.
thing, which I think a huge part of it. So
Right. Because one thing, like, we promised the comics, because comics don't like doing Zoom shows. They suck, right? They're hard. They're not like stand up.
I like
But
them. You like them,
I do too, but most don't.
right?
Most don't.
So the way
And
you sell them,
the way I sell it is our audience is very savvy. They understand. They know how to mute themselves. They're not going to be exposing themselves. It's a really good crowd. And then when somebody goes against that, I'm furious because it's like I got these people
I
here on
promised
the
you
promise.
people
Yes,
that you were grown ups,
that you were well behaved. Yeah.
Yes. Welcome to the Jackie and Laurie show, by the way. Yeah, we're stand-up comics, and we do a lot of stand-up comedy, and we both live in Los Angeles. All three of us live in Los Angeles. And I have to say this, so I went to Denver on Wednesday.
Tell me all about it.
It was, I have to say that I flew away midday on Wednesday, and I didn't know, because by then the fires had just started taking hold, and I was like, there's no way that anyone's doing anything except for running around like chickens with their heads cut off, hoping firefighters will save us. And it's not so. Burbank Airport, alive and kicking, flew me to Denver. Little bumpy on the way out, little bumpy on the way into Denver, weirdly enough. And everything's open, by the way. The misinformation that you're hearing on the national news is criminal, quite honestly. There is horrible things happening. The fires are terrible. It is the size of Manhattan has been destroyed, if not now a little larger. But there are 10 million people in LA County. That is more than you have in most of your state. Like, there are only 10 states that have as many people as we have in our county.
Wow.
Texas, New York, New Jersey. I mean, these are Florida, and the other states don't even have 10 million people in their state. And so as of us recording right now, something like 24 people have died, which is extraordinarily low.
It's very low. If you look at like the campfire, whatever, the stuff near Chico a couple years ago,
Yes.
where people were like
There's-
burned alive in their cars trying to leave.
Right.
Horrific,
Right.
right.
Amazing
Yeah.
heroism, infrastructure. Things are working.
And
they're
people listened pretty well.
Yeah.
And pretty
people
well.
rose to the occasion civilian wise, and which has been amazing. Yeah. So anyway,
and it seems like state and federal aid is coming fast, and they're aware of potential problems, paperwork, all that shit, and they're aware that people need something instantly. That's what's so good about these GoFundMe's, is the cash goes right to the people that need it.
yeah.
I mean, if you don't have anything, you know how to spend the cash.
Yes.
Like you're gonna buy underpants, you're gonna buy whatever the basics you need for your family while you're stuck in a hotel. You're gonna pay for the hotel.
Right. And yeah, so I got to Denver. There was a bit of a delay, but got there. Local comic picked me up and drove me to his studio, and we did his podcast. Because
nice,
he wanted
Jackie. Sure.
He wanted to. And I was trying to fill the room, And
right.
and then he drove me back to the condo, and I had forgotten my backpack at his house.
Oh,
So he had to drive back to his house. He let me go up with my luggage, and then just drove back to his house, picked up my backpack, brought it back, and then went back home. Cost him another hour and a half, I'm sure, in the back and forth nonsense. Very sad. That podcast, JD Lopez was his name, and I can't remember the name of the podcast, but it's about stand-up, and so we just talked about stand-up. And he listens to a lot of male comedians talking about stand-up comedy.
oh my God. They all do. Jackie.
They might. I don't know. Kyle, you listen to Rogan?
What?
I don't listen to comedians talk about anything.
Oh, you don't? Oh, good for you. You're barely listening to this. Good for you.
I'm on the thing.
Unless you're producing.
Doing podcasts.
I'm telling you, like there's like these YouTube guys that break down comedy, break down podcasts. It's men listening to men and then complaining about the men. And I'm like, do female comics factor on any level in your brain? Like, do you enjoy us?
Yeah,
I don't get it.
It's weird. Well,
so
and
you're going to make a whole podcast about 10 male comics you hate. There might be a couple women you might like. Do you want to like comedy or just love hating it?
Yeah, maybe they just love to hate it. But he was saying he was listening to this podcast, and they were these dodgy dudes, and so every time he'd bring up like a dodgy dude, I'm like, what's happening? And then so I don't know how that podcast listens. You guys check it out if you like. JD Lopez, me interviewing me.
So, yeah, did you? What do you mean? I kind of tuned out for a second. Did you?
No, it's he just said that that he was a huge fan of mine, but he would bring up all of these different, what he knew about stand-up comedy. A lot of it was from these male-dominated podcasts,
right?
And I was like, well, that's not entirely true, but okay.
Like what? Is there anything?
He was talking about how he was talking about canceling, and he was talking about filling the room and how great different rooms were, though he was made slightly uncomfortable by the mothership. And I was like, were you made slightly uncomfortable? He said, not the audience. Was it him who said that, or was that in the green room? Whatever it was some male. No, it was in the green room. Sorry. No, I can't remember anything he said. I can't remember anything I said. But try listening to it and email me. Let me know how I did.
You know what's weird is there's like young people, coming up. They think stand-up comedy is Kill Tony, right? Which that's not stand-up at all.
No,
it's
an open mic where you mock people.
The thing I get asked about most when people learn I'm a comedian at this point. It is an agreement, but it is the number one thing people ask me about.
They're out of their minds. Yeah. So
they don't know anything else, right?
Right.
They don't go to clubs. They just go. They just go there, and they think comedy is a 1-minute act that people shit on. I don't know.
Right. I will say that whoever the comic was, I don't know. I think it was the two white guys talking about football on Thursday. They were both very funny, by the way. But they were talking at one point. One of them opens for. I don't want to type it. I was too tired to type it.
Okay.
Ron White.
Okay.
So he opens for.
Too tired to type.
I don't want to type it. Too tired to type it. I'm just gonna say it. And by the way, opening for Ron White, very generous.
I bet.
And a good guy. So that's great.
Yeah.
Good news. And that's what it ought to be. If you are making a lot of money, please pass it on to the person that you are willing to have open for you.
Yeah.
Because you're willing to hang out with them. That means you like them. So you should pay the people you like better. Don't take advantage of them. Anyway, so these two guys, and not only one of them opened, I can't remember, but they were talking about the mothership, and they were talking about how the crowds were kind of amazing, but the staff was super broy. and it was just hard to get past the staff. And these are two white men in their early 30s to early 40s who were both drinking
the
beer
servers
before
or
their
the-
show.
Ooh, the servers or the managers or
The
what?
door guys and
Okay.
the door guys and the wait not the wait staff, because the wait
Mhm.
staff's all going to be hot ladies.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
Maybe not. Maybe it's just hot guys.
Men.
Could be more men. Anyway, I had 5 shows in
Mhm.
Denver. None of them sold out. I did not get the bump. I'm supposedly famous in Denver. It might be fading. Actually, the comedy station changed. Somebody told me that it moved like two dots on the 97 FM station, and so nobody knows it exists anymore. So maybe not. Anyway, so. But get this, I got to work on my new hour, my new album, the new special that I'm going to do in June.
Mhm.
And I got so much work done. Like just I allowed myself to meander around sort of the altercation stuff that I want to put back into it,
Mhm.
that I found places for it. In other news, less comedy related, did you know that Outback has a new special called Steakcation? And
Oh boy.
I have
smell a
almost texted you
lawsuit.
twice, Jackie. I'm glad this has made it into your purview.
it's insane. I was like, and somebody else said, some famous podcast out there, those are words I never thought I'd say, did an entire episode about hotel art. And they were like, I expected you to be, but yeah, my sister actually said that. Somebody else said it to me as well, but my sister said, I expected to tune in and then all of a sudden have you start talking about
Yeah.
hotel art. But hotel art is just a device
Mhm.
to tell people that I'm in a town.
Right.
You have to know that I don't know anything about art. I barely know anything about hotels. So
I think we could tell you know nothing about art, Jackie.
very possible. Okay, so 5 shows, very fun.
Were you
worked?
at the original Comedy Works or the other one?
No, I'm at the South. I'm told that I'm at the South because I usually sell out, and I did not sell out, so maybe they'll move me downtown next time.
What's that mean? Does that terrify you? That would scare me if I went. I mean, I haven't sold out there ever, so I can't even.
Right. Well, if you sell out, of course you get the bumps, but the South is much bigger than the downtown.
Oh.
Like there's a balcony and a couple hundred extra seats.
Okay. Oh.
So
downtown is easier to sell out numbers wise.
to some extent, Brian Posehn was there.
Yeah.
But they were evacuated on Friday, and so
Mm.
he went home Saturday morning.
His family. Gotcha.
His family was
Right,
evacuated.
right.
Yeah, because I think they must be in the hills, because that was the night that the fire made it to Mulholland,
Yeah, the Runyon
Yeah.
fire. Yeah.
the crest of the
Holy
the
shit,
Hollywood
that was crazy.
Hills.
And then tomorrow through Wednesday, we have just as dangerous winds. So I don't know.
60.
I mean, you and I could be out of our houses by the time this drops, which is, I mean, unlikely, but still.
Yeah. Do you have a go bag?
I have not made a go bag yet. No.
Me neither. Tomorrow.
Yeah. We'll see how windy it
Do you have a
gets.
plan?
Oh yeah, just fucking drive, I guess. No, I should. I'm not that.
We used to have a plan. It was when Andy's moms lived in Lindsay.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
our plan, was to go
Right.
stay with his moms. But
I would just keep driving east on the 10 until maybe I got to Albuquerque. I think. You know what? I was just there this year. It's a nice little town, and maybe I'll just stay there.
Is Russ Ravis dead yet? What happened to Russ Ravis?
I don't know, but I
hmm.
don't want to live where where we have these fires several times a year, and we're all on edge like this. This is terrifying,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it got. I heard the wind today, and I kind of got twitchy, and I was like, I don't remember being afraid of the wind before. Anyway,
Yeah.
But when you attach it to fire, I'm not wrong.
Do you remember a couple of weeks ago I had my trees trimmed?
Yes.
Thank fucking God.
Same.
Thank fucking God.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine the damage that would have been done to not only my place, but next door because there was
Right.
branches bleeding over into their property.
Yeah.
Oh,
And I remember that I was vaguely irritated at the hack job because they cut
me
them back
too.
pretty
I think we
back.
complained about it.
That's
but I'm
what I
like,
think we did.
too many
I'm
branches
psyched.
now. I'm like, I want to hack further.
Perfect. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm psyched.
my God.
Yeah. But do you are you on the road at all coming up?
Well, yeah. Oh, you know what? Can I make a big announcement?
Yeah.
So, a couple months ago, I pitched a show to Conan's radio channel on Sirius. He has a radio channel on Sirius.
Yeah, he
And
does.
I said, what if we play stand up from all of Conan, going back to late night through the TBS show, and you have a DJ. You have a comic who knows stand up comedy, who DJs, who's named Laurie Kilmartin. And I don't know if you guys listen to Henry Rollins has a show on KCRW. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but he would just play music and talk about the music as a musician. He would talk about it, what he liked about it and stuff. And I'm like, what if a comic did that? Because most of I think all of the serious shows, they just play stand up clip after clip after clip. No one's introducing, no one's explaining, no one's giving any context. And so I just pitched that and they said, okay. Finally, they said, okay. So I've been recording a bunch of episodes. Jackie, you're in 2 of them so far already. And you know, they start on Wednesday.
Oh wow.
The first one, our airs like 5 times a day.
Okay.
On Conan Sirius channel. And of course, if you pay for Sirius, you get the streaming app and you can just listen to it at any time.
Oh right.
But it's really kind of cool. I mean, like the first episode has a lot of stuff from late night, like Zach Galifianakis. But my favorite set is Caroline Ray from 1995, where she's like, I don't know, 30 something, low 30s, maybe early 20s, just a single gal in New York, and she's talking about stuff. This is pre-Sex in the City, and she's talking about stuff that I don't think anyone had heard a young woman talk about
so 95
City.
Caroline Ray.
Yeah. And it's really a really cool little snapshot of being a young woman then in New York City. And then the one I just recorded, we recorded through good till the end of April, right?
Oh wow. Okay.
Nikki Glazer in 2012 at a Conan set that I was like, this is the next generation of young women, single, free in the city, but in LA, and her life. And she had a lot more of abortion jokes and stuff like that. And Caroline Ray was a little bit birth control, but you didn't hear a lot of birth control jokes from women on late night in 95. That was unusual. And it was just really it's just interesting to watch everything and to see, you know, comics whose lives I know now and their first late night set is so, you know, I'm a loser. I don't have a girlfriend. And then now they have like 6 kids and they're twice divorced or I don't know, whatever.
Or whatever their journey is. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so that it's an hour-long show, radio show on Sirius. And, you know,
how many clips do you go through in an hour?
8 full sets.
8
so
full 10-minute sets?
They're 5-minute spots.
5 minutes because they're Conan sets. Sorry.
Right. So yeah, we do 8. Mm-hmm. And
are you doing it linear? Like, are you picking from, or are you jumping around a little bit?
I'm not picking. Thank God, I can't take it. There's too much to look at. So Andrew Gruce, who's the producer, he just makes the lineup, you know, and then I'm like, unless you know I have any suggestions, but mostly I'm like, that's good, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then I listen at home to each set and I make little notes about what I liked and what I think. And you know, sometimes these audiences, they fucking suck and it makes me angry.
Right.
You know, because who said, I forget,
because they're so funny.
Yeah,
because the comics are so funny. Yeah.
Yes, someone had a set where at the 2-minute mark the crowd started applauding and was into them, and I was like, what the fuck? I think it was Ted Alexandro. I'm like,
Oh,
excuse
no.
me, his first chunk was as good as the third one that you decided you liked. You fucking
Right.
pieces of shit. And here's my what I say to you studio audiences, we comics have 5 minutes. Okay? We have to waste 2 of them while you kind of get into our cadence. Get into it. Okay?
Know in your heart that you're about to see stand up and just be on the
Yes.
edge of your seat ready to listen.
Yes, and the first joke, no one's opening with a D joke up front. So why are you treating it like it's a D joke? Okay? And go, oh, now he's finally funny. 2.5 minutes. No, this head to toe, this was vetted. And all these
Right?
jokes work. And this person's been doing this set for years. So why are you taking your time? I don't know who I'm talking to right now. But it just, it happens a lot. It drives me nuts, you know?
Right, right. Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
having a show on Sirius XM.
Yes. So
That
I
is
get
amazing.
to plug my gigs at the end of the show, which is good. And I hope that helps me get more people to my shows. That's mostly the reason I would do it. It's not great money. Call Her Daddy took every fucking dollar that Sirius has, you know?
Yep. But there's something there, and it's work. So congratulations. And then you're in the writer's room, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
So things are, there's work.
Temporarily, things are okay. You know, they fall apart quickly.
Want to temporarily take a break?
Yes.
Yes. And now let's talk about the comic of the week. Laurie?
Oh my gosh. Saw her on Instagram. She made me laugh a lot. Her name is, what's her? Tien Tran. Yes. And her Instagram is Hank Tran.
Yep.
Okay.
Or Hank Tina.
H-A-N-K. Pardon?
Hank Tina?
Hank Tina.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
H-A-N-K-T-I-N-A.
Yes, that's the one.
Neither name in her Instagram is her actual name, which is an any Laurie 16 approved way of naming yourself on Instagram. But she's hilarious, and she has she's Asian, and she has the setup of someone asking where are you from, which I've heard before.
Sure.
Which I guess they hear all the time if you are an Asian person in America. And you'll hear that from a white person, but her response is something I've never heard before, and it's really funny and clever and big and wild. Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. And go find her. Hank Tina.
Yes.
Awesome. So next week, I'm going on the road with Maria again. And it is the South. South Carolina, North Carolina, or North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Georgia, and Florida. Whatever. Go to JackieCashian.com. And then I think I'm doing a one-nighter with her in Sacramento. And then I am doing my own jingle jangle up in Seattle. So at the Laughs, first week of February. So I updated my website. I tried to get, I've just been sort of like, why bother?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
very...
I know. It feels like, does anyone go to these sites and get tickets from our websites?
Well, I was just trying to process everything going on around me, and then also working on the new album. And I'm like, I have all these admin tasks, in addition to recording this, which I like, and recording the Dork Forest, which I like. And so I got a Denver comic we went out to lunch. We went to something called like a modern eatery. It's one of those fast casual. It's like a fancy Chipotle.
Yeah.
So it's a Chipotle. But it has like a quinoa bowl. I had a kale Caesar with a little salmon on it, and in an effort to eat something decent on the road. And but it was with Katie Bowman, who I think has been a comic of the week, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, we afterwards, she went to her apartment and I went to the condo and we recorded The Dork Forest. So, and it was about horror movies. How many times do people have to tell me how much they love The Thing for me to try and watch The Thing?
It's not for you. Don't do it.
Kyle Clark knows me as well.
I do.
Almost. Andy said exactly the same thing. He said,
It's one of my
it's
favorite
great.
movies. Never watch
You're not
going to
hate it.
Not for
You're
you.
gonna
Even
hate
a
it.
little. No,
Yeah.
not one bit.
You know, is it for Laurie and her son?
Yes, absolutely. It's heavily
Okay,
influenced
maybe.
by some good. It's a it's a real solid horror movie, but it's very, very good.
Did you guys see the Substance?
I did. It's my movie of the year for 2024.
Nice. Okay.
I think it is a masterpiece.
Is it a horror movie?
Yes.
She mentioned it. Yeah.
It's
so it must be.
It's more goopy than horror-y.
Okay.
It's good. It's commentary on ageism.
I genuinely
in
think actually, Laurie, or I mean Jackie, you would enjoy The Substance.
You think I would?
I do.
Okay.
It is silly enough that I think that it's because it's very, very funny in what it's doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Jackie, I got dates to promote.
Please do.
By the way, industry, now I have a serious show that I can promote my dates on. So maybe more fucking dates. All right. I'm at Bananas in New Jersey, January 24th and January 25th. That's a Friday, Saturday. I'm doing a Valentine's Day show at the Montalvo Center in Saratoga, which is south of San Jose. Oh, Northern Californians know this. And that's just the 14th of February. That's a Friday night. And then I'm at Acme February 5th through the 8th in Minneapolis. And then those are my upcoming. The other dates are too far in advance to really get excited about.
I didn't go after, because my Seattle date is 7-8. That following week, the 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th is a real, because on the 12th, I'm opening for Maria at Brea, the Improv.
Mm-hmm.
But on Thursday, I'm doing a casino in Spokane, Washington, February 13th. But then on the 14th, I got nothing. But on the 15th, I'm in Cincinnati.
What are you doing in Cincinnati?
Bombs Away, the
What's
Bombs
that?
Away Club. It's a new club. Think Eddie Pepitone.
Okay. I like it. Go Bananas has not responded to emails. I don't know why. I've been there like once a year for a couple of years.
Okay. And
I
then
don't know
what
the problem is.
Yeah, the week after that, like near the end of February, I'm back in Michigan doing Royal Oak Comedy Castle. And then wow, I have Sacramento written twice. Oh no, that's Scottsdale. Okay, I'm doing Scottsdale with Maria February 28th. And then Tucson with Maria March 1st.
Okay, please don't go any further than March or I'm really going to commit suicide on air.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that I keep saying I'm going to record in June and film in June. I haven't talked to anybody about filming. I've talked a little bit to Dominic Del Bene about recording. He's on board.
Cool.
He's like, sure. June is 6 months from now. He did not say that. That's how I end all questions. When things are 6 months away, I don't necessarily want to schedule them.
Yeah, understood.
Because it's
too far.
It's too
There's
far.
so many things you have to do as a comic for every single date, you know? And it's just 6 months. I can't.
So many moving parts.
Yes.
Yeah, Janae Burris, worked with her this weekend.
Oh.
Nancy Norton, worked with her this weekend.
Cool.
A guy named Eland Stripling? That can't be right. He's great. He was actually really funny. I worked with him. A guy named Chris Voss, a guy named John Lewis.
Not the former congressman, of course.
No, he was furious about that. He was like, I'm so screwed because of that guy. And I was like, maybe go by initials.
He's a good guy. If you're gonna share a politician's name, John Lewis isn't bad, right?
I'm wrong. It isn't John Lewis. It's John Davis, I think.
I don't know.
Whatever it is, it's some Whitey Magoo name that he was talking about how there was a bad guy named it.
Okay.
So it wasn't John Lewis, because John Lewis is famously great.
Yes.
Even I know that, and I
Yeah.
can't remember anything. So, uh,
Wait, can we
Yeah.
pause for a second?
Let's take that second break.
How do you pronounce Tom Thacker? Is it Thacker or Thacker?
I think it's the car.
Is it
Yeah,
100%?
because I just worked with him. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All
right. So I just want to talk about him when we come back. So I didn't have much comedy this week. Things canceled, of course.
Right.
I was supposed to be at the West Side in Santa Monica on Friday night. Of course, Chris said that there's like the National Guard was there, and seems like a downer for audiences. But and the Comedy Store closed. I think they had that fire was too close for comfort to the Comedy Store,
right on Friday, yeah.
But so Jeff May has his show Mint on Card at Blast from the Past, right
in Burbank.
So we did that, and it was so fun. I hadn't been on stage in about 5 nights, and I went up second to last. So I was kind of listening to people, but I was going over my stuff. I can't enjoy comedy when I'm next, or if I'm going right. You're just going over shit. Like you pop up, you hear a joke, or you listen for a reference. You're like, oh, I'm not going to do my joke about that thing, and then you go back down to your notebook. But then I did my set. I was done. Some stuff worked. Some new stuff showed promise, and then I could just watch. And Tom Thacker was last, and he was so fucking funny. He has a really funny chunk about Luigi Mangione and just the rest of it. Some of it I'd heard before, but when it's a great joke, and I'm like, I know I've heard this, but I don't remember how it ends. And then you're like, that's how it ends.
Yeah,
I laughed so much, and I was like, stand-up comedy is good. Okay, when it's good comedy, it just feels fucking good to let go and laugh at shit and just
be surprised and happy.
Yeah, to be in the hands of a good comic and a kooky, weird brain and enjoy that. It's so nice,
Yeah,
it was just a relief. That's all.
I
really needed it.
Luigi stuff sounds pretty dark. He was one of the guys I worked with in Telluride.
Oh yeah.
And
cool.
when I met him in Telluride, he said, "Oh my God, Jackie, we've met." And then
you did the great to meet you.
Yeah, and I was like, Jackie. Nice to meet you. And he was like, yes. So by like day 2, when we and all 3 of us had terrible, can't remember the name of the other guy, and he I think has a Netflix special.
Oh my Lord.
So we're all on this gondola in the dark.
Love it. The gondola in the dark is the fucking best, Jackie.
We were all just terrified. And there and back. And finally I said to Tom, I was like, this gives us a pretty good chance of me remembering you next time. He said, you better fucking remember me next time, Jackie. And that's why I at least remember his name. So good for me. Well, and I remember him being super funny.
Yeah.
We did some weird outdoor gig next to a creek. It was probably called a creek.
I think I did that before. But yeah, crick is right.
Yeah, the Telluride Blues Festival. Did you do that Blues Festival?
Yes, I did it the year before you.
That's right.
That's why you know about the gondola.
Oh, right. Oh,
I did it with there? Adam Caton Holland and
oh, good. He's a birder.
Pardon?
He's a bird watcher.
Oh, yeah.
He was on the Dork Forest.
Yes.
And yep.
And Katrina Davis and Troy Walker. Yeah.
Did you fly into Telluride or did you fly into Denver?
No, I flew into one little town. I don't know. The flight was $1,800.
Oh, jeez.
That was almost double what they paid me.
Right, and they were willing to cover the flight.
Yeah,
they were okay with all of it.
But so you normally you'd be like, well, let me fly to Denver and then hitchhike to Telluride, and I could save. I could keep the $1,200, the difference. Right. But they're like, no, we'll pay for whatever the flight is. I mean, if I took a private jet to Telluride, you'd pay for it, but you wouldn't pay me any more money.
Yep. Yeah.
So you
which
you
I don't think I realized that
by trying to save them money.
Exactly. Which I think live and learn.
Right.
is where I'm at with that.
Yes.
And because what I, of course, and this story, if you're a longtime listener of the Jackie and Laurie, you'll know that I was shaking like a leaf when I got to the hotel, and I paid someone $200 to drive that car
Oh, that's right.
to the Telluride airport and give it to the rental car people, and then the other comic drove me back to Denver.
You lost so much money on that.
It was not a money-making endeavor.
Not
I
remotely.
actually made they paid for all of that though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I made them pick up all of the extra
Yeah.
car problem
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah, it's going to cost you an extra $400.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. You should put railings on the side of the entire Rocky Mountains. How about that? Anyone want to just line the Rocky Mountains with railings?
Last day, because I wasn't leaving till like midday or something like that. So on Sunday or whatever the day, the fly day was. So I took the gondola to the halfway point and I got off and I walked for a little bit. And then I was like, wait, I'm alone. And are there like bears here or mountain lions? And is this smart? Like you know, like you have your white lady bit that we just like walk into things and touch animals, and then we're like, oh, this isn't safe. What am I doing?
But it's Kimberly. And why would the animal not like me? I make a sugar cookie that they love at church.
It's in the shape of a buffalo. I should be able to pet a buffalo.
Oh God, you guys! I just got to riff with Laurie Kilmartin. She has a new show on Sirius XM.
That's right. It's called Stand Up on Conan with Laurie Kilmartin.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And well, you'll be happy to know that we're at about 45 minutes, and I'm out.
Oh wait,
what do you got?
I thought wouldn't it be later than 45 minutes?
You'd think, but nope.
Oh, I see that little timer. Oh, come on.
Can't even lie like I used to.
Let's see. I'm gonna do a show Thursday at the Kookaburra. That's a fundraiser. I think every show from now on for about 3 weeks is going to be fundraisers for.
Right,
you know,
and then we should. Yep.
Oh, it just Patton just posted this on Instagram. Taylor Swift has donated $10 million to fire related causes here. Zuckerberg, nothing. Musk, nothing. Amazon, nothing. Apple, nothing. They all donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration.
Right. Musk is sending something like 100 of those stupid Cybertrucks to get in the way. Do you hear about that?
Yeah, I think it's even less than that. And someone had looked into what the stuff he put in the back, and it was like fucking sun ships or something.
Right, it's a hatchback. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
And well, I would Taylor Swift did that. That's super cool.
Yeah. We can't live in a world where we just have to depend on a couple good billionaires to help out. These motherfuckers should be taxed down to $1 billion. Okay?
Sure.
And then we use that money to help people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It'd be great. It's I saw Dana Gould. I don't know what's happened to his house, but he said he went to walk around his property and he heard some rustling and he hoped it was his dog Bear, because he had to leave his dog for some reason, or they weren't home or something. And he turned around and it was actually a couple of bears. And he said, "Be very careful what you hope for." So he lived.
Wow. Why he was wishing for bears?
His dog's name is Bear.
A lot of people in the Palisades, they left their pets at home because they went to work. Like in the morning, it was like bad. It was just you couldn't imagine how bad that was. No one could imagine how bad it was going to be.
Impossible.
And so they just went to work and we're like, well, you guys will take care of that, right? And then I don't know. I just saw a lot of people
and then they couldn't go back.
People being reunited with their pets, like firefighters, to save them, and the comments, "Why did you leave them?" It's like, yeah, they had to go to work. They didn't know.
They didn't know. Nobody's abandoning their pets. You want to lose your entire fan base? Let it be known that you abandon your pet. Yeah. That's insane. There was
Let's
Oh,
see.
Whitney Cummings. Whitney Cummings, postpartum.
I
Is she? I got a bunch of Minneapolis, at least 2 Minneapolis comics were like, she just had a baby, right? So maybe she's just got postpartum.
That was my suggestion.
Oh,
you
was
know?
that your suggestion as
Well,
well?
yeah. I mean, she
I
did
got
just
that
have
from
a
Brandy
baby.
Brown,
Yeah.
from Minneapolis as well.
Yeah.
It could be. But Brandy was very sweet. She was like, "Does she have a support network?" And I was like, "I think it's just that nutbag she's partnered up with,
I don't
because
know.
she's
I don't
partnered
even
up
know
with
who it is.
the guy's just a fist. The guy's just a walking
Really?
bicep. He's just and a little. Yeah, I don't know if he's steroided out or what, but he's super aggro, and she used to be okay, but I guess
I have no idea. I don't know her that well, and I don't think she likes me. So
no, she's never been nice to me.
Oh,
I think maybe the first time 7 years ago she was distantly polite. Ever since she's
Yeah,
been actively
right.
grumpy, and I'm like, we don't know each other. How could you? And what's there not to like? I mean, I know
Exactly.
why you don't like me, but I mean, but like
Well,
normal
you're
people.
pointing to yourself. I'm pointing to your heart. That's what I dislike. No, I have the same experience. Now there is, I don't know if this is her, but there is a type of woman that doesn't like the older women at all, no matter what, right? And it seems like
Or other women, or other people.
women, but then they try to collect younger women to make them look younger. And
Oh, right.
you wouldn't want to collect us because we would actually make you look younger too.
We would.
Than us. We're good to collect young female comics. Collect us.
I
Add us to your
almost
little
said
collection of openers.
my thing is I like to collect children, and then that didn't sound good at all.
I'm glad
It was,
you self-edited. That's good. That's
Yeah,
growth.
I think it's growth. There's all kinds of growth going on.
You know, here's what I know that when I was 100% knew that she didn't like me is, remember we did a live Jackie and Laurie at Flappers a couple of months ago, and
yeah.
she was in the Yoo-Hoo room doing new stuff, and so I just walked, and Aunt Bet had commandeered the green room, the main room, green room. Okay, fine, that's fine. Like the door was shut, right? And
wow.
and so I walked in. I go, hey, we have a pretty good house tonight. And if you want to do a set, and Dan Levy was on it. She and Dan Levy. And I said, sorry, Dan, it's girls only, right? And I go, if you want to do a set, you're more than welcome to, do fine. And especially if you're in new material mode, you want to do a set everywhere. She did not take us up on our offer to do a set in front of a good house at Flappers. And I was like, oh, she does not like me, or maybe it's us.
Right.
Interesting.
Right. Interesting. It's
I mean, I don't know who I would turn down stage time from. I can't imagine hating someone.
Right, right. Someone was just like asking me if I would go on sort of the super popular. Oh, it was the JD Lopez guys. He asked me if I would do Rogan.
Oh, it's all coming back to you now, Jackie.
He'd like to talk. He's like, I'd love to see you talk to Rogan. And I was like, well, that's one of us. I don't know how to. How would I talk? What would we talk about?
Yeah, I know.
It's like, did you see that Jane Fonda Bill Maher exchange, where Jane Fonda said to Bill Maher, "I don't really know. We have such entirely different worldviews," she said out loud to him, and he said, "What do you mean? I think we have the same worldview." And she goes, "Not at all." It made me love Jane Fonda even more.
Yeah.
Oh my God, too funny. But yeah, I have a couple of sets. I'm doing the Ripped Bodice on Thursday down Culver City, and I left the romance novel I was reading in the Denver condo. How's it going to end, Laurie? Is it going to work out?
What's going to happen? Sex, Jackie. That's how it starts.
No, that's usually around page 142. But after that, are they going to really resolve things? So I'm doing tonight, supposedly after midnight, with Marcella and Ada Rodriguez.
Wow, that's a great lineup. That'll be fun.
That'll be super fun. That's Wednesday. Thursday, the Ripped Bodice.
Mm-hmm.
Friday, I'm doing, I think it's like a lodge, I wish I had an address for it, but it's in Van Nuys.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
It's a lodge set. on Friar Street,
Mhm.
14440 Friar Street, and 7ish. And that's on Friday night. Saturday night, I'm doing a show in Glendale
Mhm.
at the Glendale Room, I think, the one on Artsock
Mhm. Mhm.
Avenue,
Mhm.
127 Artsock. Named for my people.
Yeah, I mean, you should be very comfortable with that pronunciation. How do you spell it,
Ru-
Jackie, without looking it up? Oh my,
ARTSKHHK.
yes, something like that. But you should be. I'm sorry, that's not acceptable with your level of Armenian blood.
Well, and next Tuesday I'm in Eagle Rock, so hopefully, and that'll be at the Relentless Brewing Company,
Oh,
which is
fun.
good. That's going to be a benefit, and I'm sure most of these things will be benefits. Because people they could really use cash.
Yeah,
Cash
cash
is
is
the way to
king.
go.
I guess
Someone
people
just
are.
gave us another $10.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
People are. They're bringing
And
in
someone
like
else just gave us another $22.
cool. People are donating like, maybe not good clothing. Like this
Oh,
isn't a time
right.
to unload your garbage on somebody.
Right. Brand new.
Just give them cash so
yeah.
they can buy something.
Yes.
But also,
I heard that the GoFundMe that somebody had to talk to GoFundMe and say, you got to lower the percentage on this
yeah,
because it'll all work out in volume. You don't have to.
seriously.
Yeah, you're going to make plenty of money. It's going to be okay.
I'm at Hermosa Beach on Saturday. Both
Oh,
shows.
nice.
Yeah. I have material to test and see. Hermosa is like to me the closest to a late night
a late
audience.
night.
So
Yep.
I have some chunks to see if they're on the late night track.
I've got my driving bit is it's right now it's all of the sometimes when I'm in the middle of working on the new album, I'll do 3 bits that are sort of about the same thing overlap, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to turn into tracks, Kashian. You got to separate that stuff out.
Oh yeah.
My Don't Tell set is now 3 tracks on Sirius.
Oh,
I got that heads up. I also got a heads up from 800 that somebody they're gonna buy they're gonna stream a clip from Staycation. Should I call the next one Steakcation? No, I should not. It's no. But I don't know. I don't know what that will pay, the 800. You can't.
I don't know.
There's no way to know.
Where did you tape the Don't Tell? Is that the one you taped in Oregon? And it's...
No, the Don't Tell that I taped I taped it in right by Hermosa.
Oh,
the next one down,
are they
Redondo.
doing that with all their stuff? Are they putting all of it on?
I assume they'll rip the audio and turn them into tracks, and then try and you'll get artist money.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Does Conan have a different? I mean, I don't know what the deal is.
I don't know
for
either.
the Conan sets.
I don't know either. Like, I'm
it
not
is
really
a
sure.
full 6-minute set though, 5-6 minute set.
5, yeah, 4 to 5,
So,
yeah.
So be it.
Should be. I mean, if you if it plays 5 times a day. Wait, is it 5 times a day or 5
3
times a week? I should fucking know this shit.
Right.
Jackie, I've been distracted by wildfires.
Wildfires. Who's gonna sing that song? I feel bad that I started last week's episode with this. Everyone knows it's windy. So
I loved it. I still love it. I loved it while I was editing it.
It was Erin Foley's joke today. God, what was her joke about? She had a fire joke that was actually really funny. And nope, it's gone. Thanks for paying attention, everybody, to the show, the Jackie and Laurie show,
Guys,
where I start
tired.
a story but don't have an end. I think
sometimes
we're close.
you come up to the end of the story on the next podcast, and it forces our listeners to always tune in.
It's episodic.
All right, bye.